welcome to Cancer Healing Journey Talks. Myself, Shruti Dapke from Community Outreach Team of Zenonco.io and Heals Cancer. Cancer Healing Journey Talks helps cancer survivors and caregivers to share their journey with vast number of survivors and caregivers who have traveled or been traveling through this journey. This can inspire and motivate them for their faster recovery as well. Firstly, I would like to introduce today's speaker, Miss Nandini. She is a bone cancer survivor. I'm happy that you're here with us today to share your journey with us. Over to you, ma'am. Please start
Hi.
your introduction.
Okay, first of all, hi Shruti. Thank you so much for having me. And I am Nandini Sharma. I am 20 years old, living in New Delhi, India, and I am a bone cancer survivor. I got diagnosed when I was 16 years old, and I got in 2017, and I got done with treatment in 2018. So now I am 3 years cancer free. Yes.
Wow, amazing. Please tell us
Thank
about
you.
your cancer healing journey.
All right. So, like I said, I was diagnosed when I was 16 years old. So it started when I was like sort of, I wanted to work out. Just a 16 years age, everybody's like, oh, I want to stay fit and everything. So
Right.
there was this one time I was just normally working out. And the next day I had like pains in my leg and everything. And I thought, wow, my workout is working because you usually get pains the next day. And but the pain didn't stop. So I told my parents and I was like, listen, I think there's some problem and there's swelling and it's hurting a lot. So then they took me to the doctor and thode x-rays hoye. Then we got a few MRIs, then like biopsies, and it turned out to be osteosarcoma, a sort of bone cancer in my right leg. So yeah,
Oh,
that's how it
okay.
got diagnosed.
Hmm.
Yes. So after that, I instantly had to start treatment. So like I think I found out
So
in July.
that time, which stage it was?
So the thing is, it is either low grade or high grade.
Oh,
So
okay.
mine was high grade, but the good thing was that it was localized. So it was just restricted to the bone and the surrounding tissues
Mm-hmm.
and not anywhere else. So I think that was a silver lining. But we had to instantly start treatment because, of course, it was high grade. So like as soon as we found out, like 15, 20 days after that, you know how you don't even mentally process something and suddenly, like
Right.
you go ahead with it. So it was like that. So 20 days ke baad I started my chemotherapy. And yeah, so I had 6 cycles of chemotherapy over like 7, 8 months, and I had a surgery in the middle. So that
Oh,
was
okay.
the entire treatment process. Yes, yes, yes.
Uh,
So and the thing was that of course surgery is required क्योंकि जो tumor होता है mainly you have to get it removed by surgery. So surgery जब हुआ, after that I think I had to get 3 more surgeries because it ended up failing. So like for that duration I was on the
like that
wheelchair and all of
surgery?
that. So yeah, that surgery, it sort of like
Mm-hmm.
failed, as in मेरा bone join नहीं हो रहा था and I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
get back on my feet and everything. So yeah, that was my entire duration of the treatment.
Hmm. So when you
Yeah.
got to know that you have bone cancer, what was your first
Right.
reaction?
So honestly, the time I found out, I cried. Of course, everybody in the family,
Hmm.
everybody was shattered. But to be very honest, it didn't hit me that I had cancer until I got into treatment.
Mm-hmm.
क्योंकि we have internet everywhere. So I used to look up what exactly is going to happen in chemotherapy, and what is cancer, and do I have survival chances and stuff like that. But जब first chemotherapy हुई ना, that's when it actually hit me that listen, I have cancer.
Hmm.
Because you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. And जब होता है ना शुरू, I was like completely shattered. I remember जब first chemotherapy हुई थी, even before I used to start chemotherapy, I used to throw up. Because
Hmm.
you have that sensation in your tummy कि please अब नहीं करना, अब नहीं करना. So as soon as just the hospital smell, it used to like
Right.
completely shatter me. So I used to throw up even before entering the hospital or whatever. So it was very hard, even for the family. Really hard. And I think my mom, of course, my mom and my nanny, two people who used to stay with me all throughout. So like, yeah, they know the real story of how cancer is and all of that.
Hmm.
It's hard. Yeah.
You ever felt like giving it up, like बस हो गया अभी मतलब treatment करना ही नहीं?
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny because it was like right at the end of treatment. I think maybe one cycle bachi thi. And I was like, I had lost what, 15 kgs. So I was like just bones and no flesh. It was bad. And I was bald and, the usual. So uske baad, I think after surgery, there was a point where I had to get treatment. And I told my parents I could not stop crying. And I was like, listen, I love you guys, but I don't think I want to do this any further and all of that. And then of course, they thought that it's not their position to say anything. So they made me speak to the doctors again and, like talk to the psychologist and whatever. And somehow I pulled through. I was like, I've come so far. If this is what I
Right.
have to do to, get done
Hmm.
with it, might as well push through. But there were times that I was definitely ready to give up.
So whenever we hear that someone has cancer in the family or we like, have cancer, we just
Right.
think that, it's the end to our life. So when you
Right,
first
definitely.
heard, like at that time you felt like you're going to die or something?
Okay, so when I first heard, I think the doctors kind of like assured me that this is localized, you can get through it. There are a lot of survival chances, of course. So I didn't let that get to me. I thought,
Hmm.
what, localized hai, might as well fight it. Like, I just
Right.
tried not to think about it at all. Like how you try
Positive
to think of the
mentality.
worst situations. Yeah, positive mentality, because I had, everybody around me was sort of reassuring me. So in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, agar itna sa bhi thought aa raha hai na, just like let it go, let it go, let it
Hmm.
go types. Yeah,
Barabar.
because yeah, the doctors did tell me ki, you
Hmm.
can get through this and everything. So yeah, but
How
it's still very
your
hard.
parents and other family members in your family reacted to it?
Yeah, so the thing is, my parents, of course, everybody was devastated. So I have a younger brother and an older sister. So the gap between my younger brother and I is 13 years, like 12 and a half years.
Oh.
So, it was like when treatment started,
Hmm.
Mama had to look after me, but at the same time, she had to see my brother because he was so young. I was
Yeah.
16 and he must have been like, what, 4 or
Three
something.
of
So,
four.
yeah, exactly, 4 or
Hmm.
something. And as much as I hated that because I'm like, I'm 16 years old. I
Hmm.
can take care of myself. My brother, who's 4 years old, needs my mom. And yet, she's unable to take care of him and everything. So, on this, I used to feel very bad about it
Hmm.
because mama had to take care of me like a baby all over again. Treatment,
Right.
or yeah, especially since I couldn't walk. So, even just to go to the bathroom, I needed my mom. So, I think that was a lot to handle, of
Hmm.
course. And I
Like
have
the
never
guilt.
seen my parents the guilt, like, oh, my brother's just 4 and
Hmm.
that's when he needs the mother, but mama used to be in the hospital with me all throughout,
Yeah, and
like
it's
just
not
these
your
sort of
fault
things.
also. Like,
Yes,
hmm.
exactly. I think that was something that I tried to tell myself, but still very difficult.
Hmm.
And like I said, my parents, I've never seen them cry, but I remember there was this one time where I'd come back from chemotherapy, and so my parents thought, hey, let's take you out for a movie. So then that was the very first outing that I had after chemotherapy. And I was coming down the stairs, like I was crawling down the stairs because I couldn't walk, and I sat on the wheelchair. And suddenly, out of nowhere, my dad, like, he goes to the back of the house, and I know that he's like crying his eyes out, you know. So that was sort of something that was like, oh my god, I'm this is
Hmm.
happening with me, this is happening to my family, and that was probably the first time I ever imagined my father crying. So that was also a very big slap on the face. Like, what is happening? Why is this happening to me? And so, yeah, I think थोड़ी चीजें we tried to, make me feel better. So every time I used to come back and I used to feel even a little bit better, Mama Baba used to take me to the hills. I think that was
Oh,
like a coping
wow.
mechanism. Yeah. Yeah, like the amount of times we've gone to the hills during treatment, it's amazing.
Hmm.
I am so thankful, seriously.
You
And
ever?
even, yeah,
No,
sorry.
go
No,
ahead.
go
No, no.
ahead. I'm talking a lot.
No,
I'm
no.
sorry.
You
But
have to.
yeah, even with my older sister, so she was studying in London. So, anytime like she got time, she used to FaceTime me or whatever. So like I'm genuinely really grateful that my family had supported me so much all throughout this.
So your family was your support system.
My family and of course my friends, not to leave out
Yeah.
my friends. Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely.
Uh,
Even so, I think with my friends too, they literally, so I was on the wheelchair even after treatment ended. They took me to Goa on a wheelchair. So I was like, wow, that's so sweet. Yeah.
I
Like
know.
even my family and my friends, like they made sure that the wheelchair just did not like stop me from, making the most of like the time after treatment and
Hmm.
all of that. They used to take me to parties, they used to take me to Goa, they used to, yeah, just make sure that it's good. I'm really grateful for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever you used to think like very negative, what you used
Yeah.
to do, to switch to positivity.
So, like I said, I think what really kept me going was the fact that my family was relying on me. The fact that they can't do anything about it. They're so helpless. All they can do is give me support. I think that was definitely one thing that definitely kept me going. I was like, if they can stand beside me,
Hmm.
through it all, so why not just continue ahead? And the thing with chemotherapy is, it is, of course, it's physically very tough, but it's more of a mental battle than it is a physical battle, I've realized. Mentally, if you keep yourself, yes, I can get through this, ye ho jayega, and all of that, then yeah, I think you're sort of unstoppable. And with me, the thing is, I think the key for me is to think of the worst situation. And if you know you can get through that worst situation, then I think I
Hmm.
just feel unstoppable, you know? Yeah.
Huh. Right. I can get
Yeah.
totally.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah.
when you heard that you're cancer free now, what was your
Thank you.
reaction?
Okay, so I'm not joking. My entire the hospital staff and everything, they were so nice to me. They were so helpful. I think I got blessed with a great team of doctors. I got treated in Max Shalimar Bagh. Okay, and literally, I'm not joking. Best team. And so the thing was, they too used to help me a lot. And like when it was the final treatment, like we cut a cake and everything. So, it was like real that, oh my God, the treatment is over
Hmm.
types. But yeah, it was genuinely a very happy feeling. But I realized that it wasn't going to stop there. Like even after I was done with treatment, I had to, like 2.5 years, I had to, spend all on the wheelchair. So I realized, sure, treatment ended, but like the entire journey hasn't really ended. And I feel like even 3 years later, it's very hard to sort of go out of treatment and live the new normal. It's
Hmm.
genuinely very hard. But it was a very happy feeling that I'm cancer free, of course. Like all of us
Hmm.
cried of like tears of joy, of course. But yeah, I realized that it didn't really end here. So yeah. But now it's like I'm back on my feet, so it feels
Huh.
amazing. Like I'm back to my normal life.
Right.
Yeah.
So have you made any changes in your diet or something?
So
Like,
the thing is,
hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, during treatment, it was very hard for me to eat anything. That's why I
Hmm.
lost 15 kgs, of course.
Okay.
Like I couldn't, you know how you crave something and you can't
Right.
eat it? It was like that for me. So after treatment ended, I promised myself for like 5 years, I'm going to eat whatever I can because of everything that I have missed out
Huh.
on. It was daunting, like it was genuinely daunting. So I promised myself 5 years because that's like the time where your cancer is likely to come back. I promised myself that for 5 years I'm going to eat whatever comes my way.
Hmm.
Be it like junk food, be it healthy food, and all of that.
Right.
But yeah, of course, with time I'm sort of switching to healthy food.
Hmm.
But yeah, I try not to stop myself from enjoying food
Yeah,
because
right.
that was the worst feeling, of course. But
um,
and it was so irritating when during treatment everybody was like, "Oh, don't have sugar, don't have this, don't
hmm.
have that." Like I would tell people now, if you are going through treatment, you need
Hmm.
to have the power, okay? Because you're the one going through it. So do not like listen to anybody saying, "Oh, don't feed on sugar," like cancer cells feed on sugar and all of that. Like that would help me keep going.
Huh.
So
Okay.
yeah, even when I was supposed to have tablets, I could not have it with normal water because my taste was very bad. So I used to
Mm-hmm.
have it with like Coke or like,
Oh, okay.
glucose water or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then everybody was like, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? But I used to tell them, listen, that it keeps me going. So please,
Right.
like, I used to shut my ears and just be like, please let me have it. Let me have it. So yeah.
So have the doctors or anyone like given you a proper, what do you say, like exercise or something to do after the treatment?
So
Any yoga or
yes,
exercise?
so the thing is, so my main, so the chemotherapy, of course, was a
Hmm.
problem, but after it ended, my real actual battle was with my legs because I got diagnosed in my right tibia, so they had to, uh, get it. I had to get surgery and everything, and what time till I couldn't walk. So like the exercise that I have to do are mostly for my legs, and the doctors, the oncologists as such, did not tell me that, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. But mostly for my legs, I have to be very careful and I have to make sure that I'm exercising, like for my ankles and all of that. So yeah, that's like the most exercise I can get in right now. Yes.
Uh, yeah, say so. You were going
No,
to
no, no,
say
I'm not.
something?
No, no, no.
Okay.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
has cancer changed you in a positive way?
Okay, so cancer has made me realize that I actually have people around me who care about me. You
Yeah,
know how people say ki when you go through hard times is when you realize the actual people who
real
are with
people,
you,
right?
supporting you. So I would say I am grateful that cancer taught me that okay, these are the people who are going to be with you. So I think gratitude, I am really happy about that. And I think I have accepted, there's
Hmm.
acceptance, I've accepted the fact that the future is not in my control, and the what is in my control is right now. So I make sure that I'm living up to,
Hmm.
whatever I can live up to, like making sure I'm making the most of the present. And yeah, and like
Yeah,
a lot
living
of
in the present,
gratitude,
right?
acceptance, living in the present, definitely, definitely. Like
Hmm.
suddenly cancer was like a slap on the face. So it makes you realize, see, listen, I have no control over the future. I have no
Right.
idea what's gonna happen. So might as well make the most of like the present.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
keep making plans for the future, but don't realize that,
Future.
present is just
Exactly. That's
passing.
present is right
Uh-huh.
here and you have to make the most of it right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've also realized that honestly, it's okay to feel vulnerable. Like during treatment, I thought that I had to put up a strong front for my parents, for my, friends and all of that. But I realized that it's okay, to feel vulnerable and share your feelings and just let go. Like, yeah, I think it's okay to be vulnerable. That's definitely
Yeah.
another lesson I learned. Yeah. Also, I learned legs are so like important. I was like, man, I wish I had taken the stairs instead of that lift that one
Ha ha
time.
ha.
So yeah, you
Right.
start to realize that you have to stop
Each
taking
and
things for
every
granted.
body part is important. Each and every
Each and every
organ.
body part is essential.
Yes.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah.
Um, so many patients, when they get to hear that they have cancer, they just don't go to the treatment and, they just sit home and wait for the death to arrive. So, what would
Definitely.
you recommend those people?
So I would say, honestly, I think it's a decision that depends on person to person. Okay. But I feel like once you tell yourself that you have to stop thinking about like death, you know what I mean? I feel like if you can sort of inspire yourself. So I'll tell you. So the thing with me was that I tried to find inspiration in the smallest
Mm-hmm.
of things. Like you need to be given like some incentive ki ha, if I'm fighting for this, and that was
Uh-huh.
my family and my friends. So I would say that people who are ready to give up, like sort of think about the incentive that you have, think about why you're fighting, think about
Hmm.
why your life is so important for people around you, for yourself.
Yeah.
Like I thought of myself that I have so much to do in life. I'm just 16 years old. So,
Right.
I tried to push myself to, yeah,
Hmm.
get through treatment
Yeah,
somehow.
like
So
you're
I
not
would,
the only one. Around you,
yeah,
your
yeah.
mother family is
Around,
also there.
exactly, exactly. So
Yeah.
I would say that try to find inspiration in the smallest of things. that push you to, get done with treatment and get through it. That's for sure.
What are the life lessons that you have learned from cancer? It's
Like
because
I
of
said, I
cancer.
think, yeah, because
Huh.
of cancer. Like I said, I have started accepting a lot of things. Okay. And I have started empathizing with a lot of people. Like I realized that there are far more greater problems than, like treatment or whatever. So it's very important to empathize with people. Okay. And like I said, future cannot be controlled, live in the present.
Yeah.
And yeah, all of that. I think these are some chotu lessons that I have taken from cancer. Yeah. But seriously, I think what I realized, I think suddenly I have a people pleasing personality all of a sudden, where
Would
I'm
you
like that I
describe
need to
it
make
like
sure.
more people pleasing as in?
So the thing is, I try to make sure that the other person I'm talking to is feeling
Mm-hmm.
comfortable in, like,
Acha,
in my
okay.
vibe, in the way I am, because honestly, you never know what they're going through inside, So I think that is one trait that I've taken from cancer. It's very important to stay kind to people. It's very
Yeah.
important to be nice to them. Because I feel like, just if it was me, like if I were going through treatment and if somebody had even just like complimented one aspect of, anything that I'm going through, it would instantly make me happy. Like,
Right.
yes, there are people out there who are validating my, suffering. So I would say that, yeah, definitely. This is like just important to emphasize. I also realized that hope is the second strongest word in the dictionary. Like, first comes love, second comes hope. Like, if you have hope to hold on to, you can, yeah, I feel like you can battle a
Yeah.
lot of things.
And there's a movie in that, like on hope itself.
Yeah.
Which
On
movie
hope
is?
itself.
Yeah, I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah, okay.
If
Is it on cancer?
no, no, it's.
No.
I'll
Just
tell
like just a
you.
movie on hope. Yes,
Yeah.
I would love to know about that. Definitely. Yes.
If you have to sum up your journey in one line, what it would be?
Um, I would say like this too shall pass. You know,
Oh
I
wow,
think
yeah. Huh.
that is definitely a phrase that has stuck with me, because honestly, I this entire treatment has made me realize that I have so much more patience than I thought I would. Like, your mind is so much stronger than you thought you would, and if you can convince it that everything has an end, like everything passes, every tough
Yes.
time ends, then yeah, I think you can do wonders. So my, yeah, line would be this too shall pass. I got it tattooed on myself because I was like,
Oh wow.
really, yeah, stick by this line. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would say this too shall pass. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your valuable time. I'm sure this session really motivates people out there who have traveled or been traveling
Thank
through
you so
cancer.
much, Ati.
It was lovely
I
having you
really hope
here.
so.
Once again, thank
It
you.
was lovely speaking with you. Thank you so much.